Hi guys! So today I wanted to record a video to tell you guys about a book that I just finished that I really like. It's called Revolutionary Road and it's by Richard Yates. And the cover looks like this. Yes, it was a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. Don't worry, I'm going to do this without giving away any spoilers. I'm not going to tell you anything you couldn't find in the back of this book. The funny thing about this book is that I read it immediately after I read Cat's Cradle. I really didn't like Cat's Cradle. I just felt like I didn't really care about anything that was happening. If you're at a point where you finish a book and the world just ended and you're like, probably not a good book. But this book was the complete opposite. Part of the reason that I really like this book is because I had spent basically the entirety of my high school career disliking a very large majority of the books that I was assigned to read. I felt like most of them were from late 1800s to like pre-1950s, and I just didn't like any of them. Well, I liked a couple. I liked Tennessee Williams, and he's not a book, but you know what I mean. But the reason that I didn't like them was because I felt like I sat in these classes and everybody kept telling me that, you know, like these are the books that are classics because they talk about stuff that's relevant throughout any time period and they kind of touch on something that's a part of human nature. And I didn't really see that in any of the books I read, and I'm sure part of it was because I wasn't reading them very critically as a 15 to 18-year-old. But whatever, I didn't really like them. But I do think that this book, which was written in the same time period as a lot of books that I read, actually should be considered a classic, and I'm actually kind of surprised that it's not. If you care about blurbs on books, it says on the front here, a deft, ironic, beautiful novel that deserves to be a classic, says William Styron. I don't know who that is, but I agree with you completely. One of the central conflicts in the book is so relevant to my life and my friends' lives right now. If I had read this book during any other time in my life, I don't think that I would have understood it. And it speaks to something that I feel like 20-somethings can relate to a lot, which is just this idea of like confronting what you want to do with your life and what makes you happy. One of the central conflicts in this book is you've got this guy Frank, and most of the book is from his point of view, and he's really unhappy with his life. And specifically, he's really unhappy with his job. If you ask a kid what they want to be when they grow up, they're never going to say they want a stable office job. But there's lots of people who actually have these jobs, and those people at some point in their life had to make a decision whether they wanted to pursue their passions in being a firefighter or being a president or being a world-renowned ballet dancer or being a information systems coordinator, I don't know, accountant, I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of 20-somethings out there in the world that are making this decision right now. So, you know, you've got this guy Frank who basically has a desk job and he hates it because he thinks that he's above that. Frank thinks that his job is beneath him, but he does it anyway because he needs to make money. And it's cool to see how this book presents that. When I was growing up, I had this impression that people who lived in the 50s go to high school, you marry your high school sweetheart, and then you get a job in a factory, and that's just what you do forever until you retire. And I've read so many articles about the millennial problem and how like millennials are told so much when they grow up that like you're gonna be something really special and you can be anything that you want to be. And for all the millennials who truly believe that and end up not being able to be this person that they want to be for whatever reason, it ends up causing a lot of internal conflict. It ends up causing some existential crises. It ends up, you know, sucking a lot. And it's always, in all of these articles, it's always presented as something that's like unique to our generation, but it's not. It's here. This is written in the 60s, but it's about people in the 50s, and they're going through exactly the same stuff as the people that you will find in a coffee shop trying to find themselves. And it's cool to see how the book deals with that. I'm not going to tell you any more than that because then I would be giving away spoilers and I'm not going to do that. But I will say that he's not a likable character. He's not supposed to be a likable character. He's supposed to be that annoying hipster that sits at a bar. One example of that, there's this part where Frank and April treat their neighbors as if like, oh, you people are settled here forever, but we're too special for this. And they're trying to go to Europe. April buys Frank this like French learning guide. It's for advanced French speakers because he had told her a while ago that he spent all this time in France and he learned French and, you know, is super familiar with the French culture and could, you know, walk through the city and remembers it like the back of his hand. And when she gives him the dictionary, you finally find out that he actually doesn't know French at all. He never learned French. He just kind of went there and hung out for a week, but he plays that story up because he wants to be the type of person that has gone to France and should be admired. Even though they're not likable characters, you still kind of care about them and you want them to be okay, and you kind of just watch them figure their life out. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to give away too many spoilers. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you can find out anytime I post a video. And again, I'm going to leave a link to the blog post where I've written the full review for this book down below, so you can click on that. Thank you for watching. Bye! I haven't seen the movie. I'm kind of nervous to see the movie because I just don't know if I can watch them in anything other than Titanic. Somebody is calling me. Just a second. Hello? I'm just recording a video. No, it's all good.
Hey, question.
Yeah.